The sun beats down relentlessly on the dry, dusty landscape as the hunter crept through the tall grass, his rifle at the ready. He was on the hunt for the most dangerous and elusive prey of all, the lion. This was not just any lion, but a massive, fierce beast that has been terrorizing the nearby village and killing their livestock. The hunter had been hired by the villagers to put an end to the lion reign of terror. As he cautiously made his way through the savannah, the hunter couldn't help but to feel a sense of excitement and fear. Lions were known for their strength and cunning, and he knew that he would have to be on his guard at all times. He had studied the lion's behavior and habits, and he was determined to outsmart the king of the jungle. As the sun began to set, the hunter found the spot on a small hill where he could set up a camp for the night. He knew that lions were most active at night, and he wanted to be prepared for any unexpected encounters. After setting up a small fire and cooking a meager dinner, he settled in for the night, his rifle close at hand. The moon was high in the sky when the hunter was suddenly jolted awake by a loud roar. He quickly grabbed his rifle and scanned the area, trying to locate the source of the noise. That's when he saw it, a pair of glowing eyes staring back at him from the darkness. He knew it was the lion, and he could feel his heart racing with both fear and excitement. The hunter slowly raised his rifle and took aim at the lion. He could see the massive beast crouched in the shadow, ready to pounce. He held his breath as he squeezed the trigger, and the shot rang out through the night. The lion let out a deafening roar as he leaped towards the hunter, but the bullet had found his mark, and the beast fell to the ground with a thud. The hunter approached the fallen lion cautiously, his rifle still at the ready. He could see the bullet had hit his mark, but he knew that he couldn't let his guard down just yet. The lion could still be dangerous even in its weakened state. As he got closer, the hunter could see the lion's golden fur, and his powerful muzzle, and his sharp, deadly claws. He couldn't help but feel the sense of awe and respect for the magnificent creature, even as he knew he had to finish the job. But as he looked into the lion's eyes, he saw something that he hadn't expected. Fear. The lion was no longer a fierce predator, but a wounded animal, struggling to survive. The hunter couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt for taking the lion's life, but he knew that this was what he had been hired to do, and he couldn't back down now. With a heavy heart, he raised his rifle once again and aimed for the lion's heart. But before he could pull the trigger, the lion let out a low growl and slowly closed his eyes, accepting his fate. The hunter stood there for a moment, staring at the lion's lifeless body. He couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness and respect for the animal. It was a worthy opponent, and he knew that he would never forget this hunt. As the sun began to rise, the hunter returned to the village, where he was greeted as a hero. The villagers were overjoyed that the lion had been taken care of, and they showered the hunter with praise and gifts. But the hunter couldn't shake off the feeling of guilt that lingered within him. He had taken a life, and even though it was necessary, he couldn't help but wonder if there could have been another way. But as he looked at the grateful faces of the villagers, he knew that he had done what needed to be done. The hunt for the lion may have come to an end, but the memories and emotions of that night will stay with the hunter forever. He had faced the king of the jungle and emerged victorious, but at what cost? As he walked away from the village, he couldn't help but wonder if he had truly won or if he had lost something in the process. Months passed, but the hunter could not rid himself of the haunting memories. He often awoke in the dead of the night, hearing the lion's final growl echo in his mind. Seeking solace, he visited the nearby village elder, a wise man known for his deep connection with the land and its creatures. The elder listened quietly as the hunter recounted the story, his face thoughtful and serious. When the hunter finished, the elder spoke gently. You acted on what you thought was right, but every action has consequences. The lion wasn't just an enemy, it was part of the balance of this land. Now that balance is upset. The hunter frowned, but what choice did I have? The villagers were in danger. The elder nodded. Yes, but it is important to understand and respect all life. Killing the lion solved the problem, but it might not have been the only way. Often our toughest struggles are within ourselves, finding a way that respects both people and nature. This conversation planted a seed of doubt and introspection within the hunter. Determined to seek redemption, he decided to study the lions more deeply, not as prey but as majesty bee of the savannah. He spent weeks observing their behavior, learning their ways, and understanding their role in the ecosystem. One evening, he came across a lioness and her cubs. Instead of raising his rifle, he watched from a distance. Mesmerized by their grace and strength, it dawned on him the lion he had killed might have been a protector, forced to act aggressively because humans were invading his territory. The hunter went back to the village with a new plan. He suggested to the villagers that instead of hunting lions, they could create a sanctuary. By protecting the lions and their habitat, they could keep both the villagers and the wildlife safe. At first, the villagers were unsure, but the hunter's passion and newfound wisdom won them over. They worked together to set up boundaries, educate the community, and promote living in harmony with the lion. Over time, the lion attacked stops, and the villagers found new ways to protect their livestock without harming the lions. Years later, the hunter stood on the same hill where he had camped that fateful night. The savannah stretched out before him, now full of life. The once feared lions roamed freely, a testament to his journey and conqueror to guardian. He had learned that true victory didn't come from barrel of the gun, but from understanding, respect, and living in harmony with the world around him. The memory of the fallen lion stayed with him, a reminder of the cause of his past actions and the catalyst for his transformation. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the landscape, the hunter smiled. He had found his peace, not through hunting, but by protecting the king of the jungle and his kingdom.